Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live, and as you guys can tell by title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working with more hash maps. And last stream I did work with some hash maps, but I didn't really complete the whole thing. I'd said you guys that I'd watch a, let's say, YouTube video off stream. So today I'm going to be working on hash maps, hopefully finishing it as well. That said, let's move on to my gameplay screen. And one thing that I realized after watching my previous stream is that since my mic is really high, whenever I talk, I kind of squint my eyes upwards, so it kind of gets my forehead to get some wrinkles. So I'm gonna try to avoid doing that this stream. That said, let's go to my gameplay screen. And wait, I think I need to increase my sharpness a little bit. Hold on, guys. There we go. I think 150 is the sweet spot. There we go. Okay, that's so much better. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my gameplay screen. And yeah, this is the chat from my, let's say... Actually, this is a brand new chat because I did move on to like a new topic. There we go. Was just making sure my horizontal stream was being covered. Okay, and now let's say something like "Since I am live!" exclamation. Whoa. Didn't want to say this. Okay, there we go. Let's say something like "Since I am live!" exclamation. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and let's say exit my OBS. Alright, perfect. Okay, and I forgot, let me change my Claude's settings to stop thinking. And guys, today I am going to be finishing my hash maps, so I hope that I actually understand the concepts. Basically, hash maps are like dictionaries, but then they just have different names and different, let's say, different places where they're really used. Like, some people call it dictionary in regular Python, but like in DSA, they call it hash maps. That's let's go, you showed up, that's already half the battle. Question 13 and question 14 are behind you. Hash maps are clicking. Now we go deeper. New pattern before we start. The 2-pass hash map. You've already used this one. You've already used the 1-pass technique. Build the map and answer the question in the same loop. Okay. Now, meet the 2-pass. And guys, in case I can't really read it properly, it's because I'm not warmed up just yet. Okay, now meet the 2-pass technique. Pass 1. Loop through the data. Build your frequency map. Pass 2. Loop through the data again. Use the map to answer the question. Why 2 passes? Because sometimes you need to know the full picture before you can make a decision. And I'm gonna just sort of change the positions of my chats. Okay, there we go. Because usually, let me just click that. Because usually I have my horizontal chat in the center and vertical towards the right. There we go. Okay, perfect. So, why 2 passes? Because sometimes you need to know the full picture before you can make a decision. You can't know if a character is unique until you've seen every character first. Okay, so A, B, B, C, D, E. Pass A2, B2, C1, D1, E1. Pass 2, loop again. First one with the count equals to 1. C is the unique one. 2 loops, both ON, total, ON, clean. Okay, question 15. First, non-repeating. Okay, wait, here's the thing. Let me say something like sensei. Now, before I work on any questions, I believe the thing that holds me back is the way the instructions are given. I have a hard time understanding it since I am not as fluent in the terminology. There we go. Okay, because that's where I was struggling last stream as well. Okay, that's a smart thing to notice about yourself. Yada yada, blah blah blah. Be specific, more honest right now. The better I can calibrate every single question from here on out. That is your series. Okay, wait. When you read a question like 15, where did it start feeling fuzzy? Alright, hold on. So, question 15. Task. Given a string, find and return the first character that appears exactly once. If no such character exists, return 0. There. Okay, requirements. Accept 1 parameter. Build a frequency map counting each character. Okay, 2, pass loop again. If no unique character exists, every function gets a bigger complexity. There we go. Let me go here. Okay, it's mostly the logic. Like, I understand the logic very vaguely. I know what to do, but I cannot trace it properly to, let's say, convert it as syntaxes. Okay, guys, did I even make any sense here? Let's see. Okay, now I know exactly what to fix. You understand the idea. You just can't bridge the gap from English to actual Python lines. That's not terminology problem. That's a translation problem. And it's completely fixable. From now on, every question requirement bullet gets a in Python. This means line right underneath. Wait, what? I don't want that. Okay, I mean, for practice, I think it's fine. After practice, we can work on it as well. Okay, so pass 1, build a frequency map counting each character in Python. This means... Okay, in Python, this means frequency. Okay, and... I do not need actual syntaxes, but can you phrase the syntaxes in English just for a few questions until I do not tell you that I understand the concept. Once I do understand the concept, we can have a bit vaguer questions. For every new topic, we can apply this format. There we go. Okay, let's see. And guys, ignore the typos. I get like so many typos right now. Just gonna hydrate my lips real quick. Okay, locked in. That's exactly how we're gonna run it. New format, requirements, building in Python code. There we go. Now, finally, question 15, like 8 minutes on stream. Okay, given a string, find and return the first character that appears exactly once. If no such exists, return none. Given a string, find and return the first character that appears exactly once. Ah, I see. If no such characters exist, return none. Requirements, create an empty Python dictionary called frequency. There we go. In Python, this means making... This was more than enough, but okay. In Python, make a variable named frequency, assign it to an empty dictionary. Pass 1, loop through every character in S and count how many times each one appears, storing the results in frequencies. So I gotta iterate through every character in S and count how many times each one appears, storing it in the frequency. In Python, this means start a for loop that goes through each character in S. Then inside that loop, if the character is already a key in frequency, add 1 to its value. If not, set its value to 1. Pass 2, loop through S again, and return the first character whose count in frequency equals 1. In Python, this means start a second for loop that goes through each character in S again. Then inside that loop, check if that character's value in frequency equals 1. If it does, return it immediately. If you finish pass 2 without finding anything, return none. In Python, this means after the second loop ends, write a return statement that returns none, big O notation. You know what, this was so much more clear. I'm gonna get this in the other window. And while it's going in the other window, I'm gonna grab my Visual Studio Code as well here, just so I can use it to write my code. I was gonna say as a reference, but now mine. Hence, pass 1 is almost identical to question 13, count underscore frequencies. You've already built this before. I have built this before. Okay, so apparently I'm gonna go ahead and create a new Python file. So let's go ahead and open that and exit these Python files from here, because I think they're just... I'm gonna go ahead and save. They're just all taking up space. Generators, hue, decorators, count. Then we're gonna remove that as well. Now, under my Python files, I'm gonna go ahead and, let's say, create another file called first non-repeating.py. repeating.py. There we go. And then I'm gonna hit enter and then delete my stack.py too. Now in this, we gotta firstly create a dictionary. So task, given a string, find and return the first character that appears exactly once. If no such character exists, return none. So let's go ahead and create an empty dictionary in a function. First, non-repeating stuff. Create an empty dictionary in Python, okay. No functions? No, it needs a function. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go with something like define my first non-repeating repeating, which requires s as a parameter. Given a string, find and return the first character that appears exactly once. If no such characters exist, return none. Requirements, create an empty dictionary called frequencies. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create an empty dictionary called frequencies, FREQ, right? Frequencies equals to, let's go with something like an empty dictionary. And then later we're gonna go ahead and loop through every character in S and count how many times each one appears, storing the results in frequencies. Okay, so what goes in the S? So A, B, B, B. Okay, so that's gonna be a string. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go with something like for every char in S, for every character in my string, I'm gonna do something. Loop through every character in string and count how many times each one appears, storing the results in frequencies. In Python, this means start a for loop that goes through each character in S, then inside that loop, if the character is already a key in frequency, add 1 to its value. If not, set its value to 1. If, let's say, char in frequency, if my character is in frequency, then I'm gonna go with something like my frequency, FREQ, at index of char is gonna go ahead and increase by 1. Else, I'm gonna go ahead and set my char, if not, set its value to 1. FREQ at index of char is going to be equal to 1. Okay, perfect. And then once we're done with that, let's see. Okay, so phase 2, loop through S again and return the first character whose count frequency equals to 1. In Python, this means start a second for loop that goes through each characters in S again. Then inside that loop, check if that character's value in frequency equals to 1. If it does, return it immediately. Okay, so we're gonna add another for loop. I'm gonna go with something like for every char in S. I'm gonna check if my char, if my frequency at index of char equals to 1. If it is 1, then I'm gonna go ahead and return, which ends my function immediately. If it does not, okay, if it does, return it immediately. If it does not, it keeps iterating. Okay. And then if you finish pass 2 without finding anything, return none. Okay, so if I'm gonna go ahead and return none. If I finished pass 2 without finding anything. Alright, perfect. And then in Python, this means after the second loop, right, a return statement that returns none. Okay, add big O docstring complexity. Okay, so this is pretty much it, right? So we're gonna go ahead and add our docstring here. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna go in a new line, add 1, 2, 3. Now let's add our time complexity. For my time complexity, what this function does, I'm gonna go with the complexity is ON because we do use it for a loop here. Okay, and then in a new line, we're gonna say something like this function iterates, ITRATS, iterates over a string. Okay, this function iterates over a string given by the user. And let's say uses a for loop to iterate over, let's say, uses a for loop to iterate over. This function iterates over a string given by the user using a for loop. Using a for loop. Okay, and then let's say something like if the first not repeating and returns the first non-repeating, let's say string. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty much it, right? So let's try running it. So I'm gonna go ahead and, excuse me guys, copy this part. You know what, I'll just type it out. We're gonna go ahead and print our first doesn't lessons work. There we go. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, so first not repeating requires a string of AABBCDE. AABBCDE. And then the second one is going to be another print statement that says something like first non-repeating. That requires a parameter of AABB. Okay, now if I ordered Control S to save the code and run the command, I get none and none because we don't find a non-repeating number. The first one should be C and the second one should be none. AABBCDE. Okay, well, keep the two loops completely separate. Do not combine them. IDKeef is beneficial solving this way if something is giving you the intuition. Bro, that return none will never happen. Bro, you're not returning anything. Wait, am I actually doing something wrong here? Wait, this return none will never happen. Hold up, I think I know. Let me see this part. Oh wait, never mind. I had this function indented here. My bad, guys. There we go. Okay, I think there is a progress here. So this is gonna go ahead and return my frequency at index of char. There we go. Did I do something wrong here? Okay, so we got a for loop. Wait, I think I need to return... I don't think I need to return my frequencies, right? Hold up, let me read that part again. If you finish the two loops without finding anything, you just gotta return something. Okay, so loop through S again and return the first character whose count in frequency equals to 1. If frequency at index of char equals to 1, return char. Return char. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and run the code. If char does not exist, wait, char should be existing. I shouldn't be getting two nuns here. Let's see. So if frequency at index of char equals to 1, I return my char. Char. Okay, and then wait, do I have any items in... Oh wait, I don't think I really appended any items in my dictionary, right? Should I like create a... No, I don't think I need to create a dictionary. Frequencies at index of char equals to 1. Do I need to add this stuff in my dictionary? Okay, return none outside the loop. Return none outside the loop. Wait, wouldn't that not have a point here? Wait, let me try it. Let's run it real quick. Oh wow, how did returning none outside the loop really help it? Return none. In that case, if I did not have a return statement in general, I think it would have still worked the same. It still worked the same. I need to ask why. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's say copy that stuff, grab Claude here. Wait, did I grab the wrong Claude? There we go. Okay, so I have a question here. Let me say something like, sensei, it works, exclamation, and the question was easy to understand as well. However, there was one small mistake. I had one question. So after my, let's say, second for loop, after my SECOND for loop, I returned, let's say, none after the if statement. However, my output was to none. And then I, let's say, got my none outside my for loop, and apparently that worked. Okay, guys, I did not know how do I phrase that stuff. Okay, my account. Okay, at least I was done with the question before a whole hour. Like yesterday, it took me a whole freaking hour to complete one question. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Question 15 stamp, let's go. And that question you asked, that is exactly the right instinct. You notice, yada yada. Why return none goes outside the loop? Let me break this down in plain English. When return is inside the loop, every single iteration, Python checks if your statement, Python checks your if statement. If the condition is false, Python hits the return none anyways and quits the function immediately. Okay. So on your very first character, if it's not unique, boom, the function is dead. You never even get to check the rest of the string. Why return none is outside the loop. Python runs every single character first. Only after the entire loop finishes without finding anything does it reach return none. I see. That's the correct behavior. I checked everything, found nothing, now I return none. Think of it like this. You're checking every seat in a cinema for your lost phone. Return none inside the loop means you give up after checking the first seat. Oh, outside the loop means you check every single seat, then you give up. One small fix before you stamp it. Your docstring says returns the non-repeating string. But it's not a string, it's a character. Fix that word, okay. And then explicitly outside. Fix that word, then also add return explicitly outside of your loop as clean habit, okay. Alright, so this is supposed to be a char. And then character, and then we're gonna go out here. Let's add a return none. Okay, this is one thing that my programming professor really told me as well. He was like, every single function needs a return none. I was wondering why, like, does it do anything? Pretty sure not. Bro, practice touch typing. You're typing like a noob. Guys, you know what? Alright, okay, I'm not gonna look at my keyboard anymore when typing. There. There we go. Here. Oh god, guys, that is going to give me a lot more typos, but I think practice is going to make that. I mean, practice will definitely fix that stuff. Question 5 stamp, clean, perfect. Docstrings fixed, return none, sitting exactly where it belongs outside the loop. After functions has done its job fully, no shortcuts, no guessing, yada yada. Question 15 done. Ready for question 16, same topic, hash maps, difficulty bumps up, 1 notch, new pattern, using hash map to group things together. So far, your hash maps have stored 1 value per key, a count and index. Now we use a hash map to store a list of values per key, grouping, the idea. The key is what things have in common. The value is a list of everything that belongs to that group. In plain English, you see an item, you figure out what group it belongs to, you add it to that group in the lists dictionary. If the group doesn't exist, you create it with an empty list, okay. Question 16, group by lengths, which requires words as the parameter. Okay, task, given a list of words, group them by their length, return a dictionary where each key is a word length and value is a list of all words with that length. Requirements, create an empty Python dictionary called groups. In Python, this means make a variable named group and assign an empty dictionary to it. Loop through every word in words. In Python, this means start a for loop that goes through each character word, through each word in the words list. This means start a for loop that goes through each word in the word list, okay? For each word, get its length and use that as the key. In Python, this means inside the loop, create a variable called length and assign it to the length of the current word. Okay. And assign it, hold on guys, I think I messed that up. In Python, this means inside the loop, create a variable called length. Okay, that's so much better. Create a variable called length and assign the length of the current word to it using the built-in length function. I see, okay. If that length is not yet a key in groups created with an empty list as its value in Python, this means inside the loop, check if length is not in groups. If it isn't, set groups at that key equal to a brand new empty list. Okay. Add the current word to the list at that key in Python. This means after the if checked, append the current word to the list, okay, stored at the group at the length key. This line runs every time whether the key was just created or already existed. Guys, I need to find the perfect place to keep it because sometimes it's so, my screen is so close to my eyes that it literally flashes me at times. Okay, after the loop, return groups. In Python, this means outside. And after the loop for groups, write a return statement. That returns the group at a big or docstring complexity and plain English. Expected outputs, yada yada. Cat, dog, elephant, rat, lion, ox. Okay, group by length words is yada yada. Okay, finally. Oh god, that was a huge instruction. Okay, let me go up here and then let's just zoom out a bit. There we go. And then we're gonna just check that there. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna create a group by lengths Python class real quick. So I'm gonna go to my Python files. Let's go. Oh, let me try not seeing. group. Okay. Group. Oh god, guys. Open my screenshot. There we go. I think I may need to have a whole stream where where's that? Do you guys see group by lengths here? No? Oh, you're kidding me. Fine. Okay, I need to start typing without looking at my keyboard. What the hell? There we go. Okay, so first let me reread the instructions up here. So apparently we gotta go ahead and create a function. So I'm gonna go ahead and define a function called group. There we go. Oh god, that took so long. That requires a words as its parameter. There we go. Okay, and then once I'm done with that, we're gonna go ahead and read the instructions. Create an empty dictionary called group. So G. Where in the world is G? There we go. R. There we go. So we create a groups dictionary, which is going to be equal to a pair of curly braces, because that is an empty dictionary. And then we're gonna go ahead in Python, this means yada yada. Okay, now I gotta loop through every word in words. Okay, so every word in words. Okay, in Python, this means you start a loop for each word, get its length, and use that as the key. In Python, this means inside the loop, create a variable called length and assign the length of the current word using the built-in length function. Okay, so we're gonna go with 4. Let's say every word in words. I'm gonna go ahead and click insert then backspace for every word in words. We're gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna go ahead and create a lengths variable. Guys, I think this is gonna make my stream like 1,000 times slower. Oh, I see. I see where I was messing up when I was typing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a lengths variable, which is gonna be equal to my... which equals to my length of my word. I got it. Okay, I'm used to typing in a smaller keyboard. No wonder my fingers are going one alphabet beside the one that I really need to click. Let me try to expand my fingers a little. Wait up. Might try warming it up a little. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now guys, I shouldn't have a single typo. Whoops. Oh my god. Did I just jinx myself? Did I just jinx myself? The hell? Oh my god. How come after I warmed my hands up, I had even more typos? There we go. Okay, so length word. And then later on after that, we're gonna go ahead and... this means inside the loop, create a variable called length, assign the length of the concurrent word to it using the built-in length function. If that length is not yet a key in groups, create it with an empty list as its value in Python. This means inside the loop, check if the length is not in groups. Okay, check if the length is not in groups. If it isn't, set groups at that key equal to a brand new empty list. If it isn't, set groups at that key equal to a brand new empty list. Okay, so set groups at that key. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add an if statement here. Let's go with something like... okay, so if my length... what up guys, where's the my hell? This is getting so tedious. Okay, so if my length is not... if length not in... okay, if length not in my groups, okay, so if length not in groups, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. How am I clicking the same exact freaking button again and again? Okay, that is gonna be backspace, that is gonna be that. This is a bigger button, so I need to go ahead and... there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Bro, what happened to the game you're making? Actually, I was done making that game about 37 days ago. If you guys do want access to that game or want to try playing it, you guys can type exclamation calamity on chat. No space, actually. There we go. This is gonna go CALAMITY. Guys, I'm trying to type in this new keyboard and it's so awkward, but a link will pop up and you guys can go ahead and check that game out as well. Although I did start a brand new series called AI Engineering for 365 days, where my goal by the end of this series is going to be to make an agentic AI, whether it be me training that model from scratch or using LLMs to get the job done. That said, if you guys do want access to the roadmap that I am currently using for this series, you guys can join my Discord server and either go to the Pythonist chat or the general chat, or let's say the coding helps chat, mention my name there at VivUniverse asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap. You guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in the description, through my bio, or by, let's say, typing exclamation Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. That said, Apparently this stream I'm learning on how to use touch typing as well. I'm trying not to see my keyboard. No wonder we're not done with this question yet. Okay, so we check if length not in groups, then what do I want to do? Length is not a key yet. Wait a minute. Okay, if length not in groups, then I want to go ahead and set groups at the key equal. In Python, this means inside the loop, check if length is not in groups. If it isn't, set groups at that key equal to the brand new empty list. Set groups at that key. So I'm gonna go with something like groups at index of, oh god. And hold up, didn't a link have to pop up? CALAMITY. Hold on a damn minute. I'm gonna go to my Nightbot real quick. Is Nightbot like shut or something? Is it actually? I'm gonna go ahead and open Nightbot. Because I just realized it did not really send any much links this stream. Okay, so exclamation calamity. Should be somewhere right here, right? Interesting. Hold on, let me test something. By any chance, was my calamity off here? Oh wait, did I not add it? Because apparently in my Nightbot, whoops. Apparently in my Nightbot right here, I did add a calamities command. I don't know where did it go, but after the stream, I'm going to be adding it again. Although, if you guys want another way to really get access to my game, you guys can get access to it if you guys go to, let's say, my community post right here. Let me just grab my channel. And then, let's say, grab Claude's chat up here as well. There we go. Okay, so if I were to grab my channel up here, if you guys go to my posts and scroll all the way down until you guys don't see my Calamity Tuesdays post right here a month ago, I do have my games' link right here. So if you guys click my itch.io, it should pop the game up here. You guys can download it as well. And I haven't checked this game in a while. Hold on a damn minute. I don't even know how to see my dashboard here. More information. Hey, let's go. We got 5 stars. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and exit that for now. That said, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. I still wonder, why is the Calamity Tuesday link not working? That said, if length is not a key yet in groups, created with an empty list. Okay, so words, so this is supposed to be a length. Oh, this is why type hinting is really important. List, what are we expected to return? You know what? I'm so close to quitting type hinting. I mean, type touching. Okay, so it returns a dictionary. So our return value is supposed to be a dictionary. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna check if length not in groups. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. What am I gonna do? If that length is not yet in keys, not yet a key in groups, created with an empty list as its value. So I gotta go ahead and create it as an empty list with that value. Okay. Okay, this is a list. Hold on, let me get this straight real quick. That is a list for every word in my words is a list. I check the length of my word. How many characters does that word have? If length not in groups, how in the world is length not gonna be in groups? In Python, this means inside the loop, create a variable called length and assign the length of the current word to it using the built-in length function. If that length is not a key yet, okay, so if length not in groups, that is correct. Create it with an empty list as its value. Create it with an empty list as its value. Bro, your accent, give me some tips. Actually, the best tip that I do have is repetition. The more you talk, the better you get and all that stuff. That said, I'm gonna go up here as well. We have 3 cat, dog, rat. 8 elephant. 4 lion. 2 ox. A dictionary with a key representing a value. My key is the length of my word. My value is my word itself, or a list of my word itself. That makes so much more sense. If length not in groups, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and drink some water. I think hydration is the key here. Cause I think I got it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so if my length is not in words, I gotta go ahead and create a list and add that stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a list. Created with an empty list as its value. So I'm gonna go with something like length equals to an empty list. Okay, so groups is going to be equal to an empty list. Groups at index of word is going to be my length. Oh god, I actually got it. I actually freaking got it. What the hell? There we go. Okay, and then once we're done with that, add the current word to the list. Add the current word to the list, add that key. Okay, so add the current word to the list, add that key. Add the current word, which is my word, to the list, add that key. Perfect, did it. Python me check if after if check, append the current word to the list stored at groups, and the length key. After the if check, append the current word to the list stored at groups, add the length key. This line runs every time whenever the key was just created or existed. After the loop and return groups. Okay, all right, I think I see. So our output should be words equals to cat, yada yada. Okay, print words cat. So we need a list. And that is a dictionary. Let's go ahead and return groups. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and create a words list that is going to be having a bunch of words like cat, dog, elephant, rat, lion, ox. Cat. Dog. Oh god, I'm trying to click insert. There we go. Cat, dog. I wrote that without looking at the keyboard. Cat, dog, elephant. Rat, lion, and ox. Oh god. Rat. Lion. Ox. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and call our function called groups. Groups underscore by okay, let me think this through. So that should be that. This should be enter, right? There we go. And then that is a plus. That should be the parentheses. Groups. Underscore, come on. There we go. By. Underscore. Length. With a pair of parentheses. Oh, should be somewhere here. There we go. There we go. And then we're gonna hit Control S to save the code and then run the command. Run the program. Name error. Groups by length is not defined. Did you mean group by length? Of course, yeah. Of course I have a typo. Typo. I need to make sure that I'm seeing it correctly. Oh yeah, let's go. This should be the backspace, right? Nope, that was enter. Backspace should... Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm so close to quitting this stuff. There we go. Okay, with right hand, that was so much easier. Control S to save the code, and then I'm gonna run the command. Okay, perfect. So we did not get any output, but I think we were close there. Oh, I did not print it. So we're gonna go ahead and... Gotta click shift. That has to be shift. That's enter. Where in the hell is shift? There we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I open parentheses there, and then let's just go ahead and close my parentheses here. Now let's hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Cat 3, dog 3, elephant 8, rat 3, lion 4, ox 2. Perfect. Well, maybe I'm gonna go with something like length. Is gonna be my word. Oh my gosh, I had the word there. Come on, please let me get it. Am I just guessing? I'm not guessing. I know R is supposed to be somewhere here. Okay, I gotta reset my hands. There we go. Control S and then we run it. Perfect. 3 cat, 8 elephant, 4 lion, 2 ox. Perfect. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my dog string. So I'm gonna hit a bunch of enter here. Come on. Guys, how do we touch type? This is so hard. There we go. Just gotta be patient. Gotta go up. This is left, back, down, up. Then up. Okay, so I'm gonna add enter. Triple quotes, right? 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go with 1, 2, 3. I love clicking backspace. There we go. Up. Tab. Close the tab. Okay, now, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a time complexity. Damn it. I'm gonna click insert. Where the hell is insert? Okay, now I gotta think where insert is. There we go. Then I'm gonna go higher. COMPLEXITY. Wow. My time I'm new to China. I really like your style and the skills you've developed. I'm 21 and run AI agency with 5 to 6 US based clients already. If you could share 1 or 2 tips for me. Actually, I don't think I'm really good with the AI field just yet, because I'm just learning the basics and all the prerequisites before I really start working with AI. But if I were to give basics when it comes to learning, I'd say that repetition is really the key, because we need to really understand the topic before we move on. Plus, I think that different people do have different ways to really learn it. So to, like, let's say, find the way that works the best for you. For me, the way that works the best when it comes to learning is doing a lot of practice and getting a lot of work done as well. That said, one annoying thing is I'm trying to do touch typing and it's so hard. Hey, I'm actually starting to get a hang of it though. Okay, so now we have time complexity, and let's say something like this function. Wow. Okay, this function iterates over a list of, let's say, words, and let's say turn something. Hold up, I'm just gonna go here real quick and just hit backspace. Okay, so this function iterates over a list of words, and so I iterate over a list of words and stores the length. Let's go with something like, and stores the length okay, and stores the length, oh my gosh, and store the length of the word in a variable there we go. Okay, stores the length of the word in a variable if the how long is this gonna last, guys? If the word is not in the dictionary, we create a new list of words list of okay, we create a new list for that word and add it to our groups. My gosh, I think I got it, guys. I think I got it. To our groups dictionary. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be saying anything else. It's too hard. Control S, Control A, Control C. I'm gonna grab Claude up here real quick and let's paste it. Guys, I would have been done with this question a long time ago if it was not for touch typing. So say it works! Exclamation. I think touch typing is a really cool skill though, so I'm gonna practice a little with it. No more look at the keyboards. Hold on, does it actually give you the right output? Run it and show me exactly what it prints, because I'm looking at your code and I see something missing. You create the list with words inside the if block, but that only runs when the key doesn't exist yet. Ask yourself what happens to dog and rat. They're both length 3. Cat creates a list, but the dog shows up. The key 3 already exists, so if block is skipped entirely, dog never gets added. You're missing the append line that runs every time, whether the key exists or not. Go back to the requirements. Add the current word to the list. Add the key. This line runs every time, whether the key was created or already exists. Add the current word to the list. Add that key. Add the current word to the list. Add that key. How do I add the current word? Okay, I think I missed a comment there. Let's see. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, how do I add the current word to the list of that key question mark. And guys, in case I'm typing a little bit slow with more type errors, it's because I'm trying to learn how to use touch type without gawking at my keyboard. That's a good instincts to ask. Instead of guess, here's the plain English breakdown. Your dictionary group stores a list at each key, so groups at index of length gives you that list. To add something to a list, use the append method. I know the append method, you've used this before in Hue problems, so in plain English, take the list stored at groups at index of length, call on the append, pass in the current word. That line goes outside and after the block, so it runs every single time, not just when the key is new. Okay, so we're gonna go outside, yada yada. Outside the if block, right? So I'm gonna go with something like groups. Oh god, come on. GR. Positive there's an R here, right? You're kidding me. There we go. Groups at index of length. I was letting my muscle memory take over there. But my muscle memory is not used to a big keyboard. I'm gonna start crying, guys. L E L E N G T H. There we go. Dot append A P P E N D. I wanna append my word. Control S. I'm gonna go ahead and add a dog and then a cat. Let's run it. 3 cat dog rat. Okay. That's in the if statement. Let's go with the control A. Control C, and then I'm gonna grab plot up here. Did you complete recursion? Actually, I did have like a recursion stream a long time ago, but then for this current series, I didn't really work with recursion as much. I did have a recursion when it came to a stack question, but that was not really as bad. Okay, actually not stack question, the get question. Almost, but run that. Look carefully at the outputs. 3 cat dog rat. Every word is appearing twice. Can you figure out why? Think about what happens when a key is brand new. If block runs, it creates the list with words already inside of it. Then the append line runs, it adds words again. So the first word in every group gets added twice, once inside the if, once append. You have 2 options to fix this in plain English. Option 1, when the key doesn't exist yet, create it with an empty list instead of words. Then let the append line do all the adding every time. Option 2, when the key doesn't exist yet, create it with an empty list instead of word. Then do that stuff. Keep word inside of the if block, but put the append line inside an else block so it only runs. Guess I'm gonna go with option 2. Alright guys, who told me to touch type? This is so tedious, but I want to do it so bad. I'm gonna exit that. This is just to see the stream works properly. There we go. Cat, dog, rat. Oh, I see what the question asked me to do. Cat, dog, rat all consists of 3 words. 8, elephant, 4. Okay, perfect. You know what? I still think that... Oh my gosh. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab plot up here real quick. Spaced it and say... Works! Exclamation. I think.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up.
Where the hell is N? Oh god, it's so much easier to type without talking because I get locked in. Question 16, Stamp, let's go. And that moment you just described, looking at the output and suddenly understanding what the question meant, that is one of the most important skills in programming. Read the output, let it talk to you. The code never lies. One tiny docstring update before we fully stamp it. Your docstring says if word is not in the dictionary, we create a new list for that word. It should say length, not word. The key is the length, not the word itself. Quick fix it, okay. This function iterates over a list of words and stores the key of the word. Key is not in the dictionary. Wait, it's not. If the key is not in the dictionary, I keep going with Control V. Couldn't even say done, I hit enter. Perfect, fully stamped. Let's go with something like yes. Okay, let's see. New pattern, the hash map. As a counter with a condition, you already know how to count things with a hash map. Now we add a decision on top. Okay, wait, hold on. Can we slow the how did I make it big? Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Here we go again. Guys, this is so annoying. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close this up real quick and then let's see. Okay, repetition is how patterns get burned into muscle memory. No new concepts until you say. We're staying on the grouping and filtering hash maps, some patterns, more reps. Question 7 says exactly as it shoots. Same ideas as you've already seen. Go take and run it. Question 7. Show me the full file before you run it. Okay. Question 17. Find duplicates, which requires items as the parameter. Task: given a list of items, return a list of all items that appears more than once. The result should not contain duplicates itself. requirements. Create an empty dictionary called frequencies. In Python, this means make a variable named frequency and assign an empty dictionary to it. Loop through every item in items and build a frequency map. In Python, this means start a for loop that goes through each item in the list inside the loop. If the item is already a key in frequency, add 1 to its value. If it's set to its value 1, create an empty list called result. In Python, this means make a variable named result and assign an empty list to it. Loop through the frequencies map and collect items that appears more than once. In Python, this means start a second for loop that goes through each key in frequencies inside the loop. Check if the key value is greater than 1. If it is, append that key to result. Return result. In Python, this means after the second loop ends, write a return statement that returns results. Add a big or docstring complexity. And plain English Y expected outputs: cat, dog, cat, rat, dog, cat. Cat, dog is a repeated once. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get the instructions in the other window real quick. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and create a file, right? Is it a new file? Find duplicates.py, okay. So we're apparently gonna go ahead and create a new Python file called find duplicates.py, and then we're going to enter. Now in my file find duplicates.py file, firstly I'm gonna go ahead and define a function called find duplicates. Oh god, here we go again. Okay, which requires item as a parameter. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and create an empty dictionary called frequencies. It's Q, there we go. And then once we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and let's say Python, this means make a variable named frequencies and assign an empty dictionary to it. Loop through every item in items and build a frequency map. Loop through every item in items and build a frequency map. In Python, this means start a for loop that goes through each item in the list inside the loop. If item is already a key in frequency, add 1 to its value. If it isn't, set value to 1. Okay, build a frequency map. Start a for loop, goes through each item. Okay, so we're gonna go with something like 4. Gotta try using all 10 fingers. Or should be there, right? Fist. Okay, so we're gonna go with something like... Second time in a row, by the way. Third time in a row. Guys, I'm gonna quit this. It's so tedious. R is right there, backspace is right up there, so the toppest one is backspace. Okay, so for every item that is a list, backspace should be up there. Okay, so I should be beside B, I, then T, E should be beside R. Okay, never click it with my ring finger. I gotta click it with my middle finger. M is gonna be just middle finger. Middle finger. Okay, if this is semicolon, M is supposed to be below it. No, that's period. There we go. For every item in... Where's I? You know what? I'm going to look at the keyboard real quick. This is how my fingers needs to be. Okay, so my fingers gotta be here. So this is everything. We have Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, O, P, A. Okay. This is here, and then middle finger, if I move it there. Shift, if I move it there. So we go that way. And then backspace, enter, parentheses, curly braces. If I'm here, I can go with shift, parentheses, and there. Okay, I think I see. And then we have this, and then I is this hand. T should go a bit high. E is my finger. M is up there. Okay, so I, T, I is there. T is supposed to go there. E is my resting finger. M is supposed to be above this. S is supposed to be there. And then shift, my finger is gonna go there. I did not check colon, but there we go. For every item in items, I'm gonna go ahead and see something. Okay, so inside the loop, if the item is a key in frequencies, add 1 to its value. If it isn't a key in the frequencies, we set its value to be 1. I need to see where I is. Where is I in my resting fingers? So, when I rest my hands here, I can go ahead and... Okay, my O is my resting part, and that is resting. I is gonna be up there, so I go there for every I. T is supposed to be right here. There we go, it almost touches, so I could just go there and I can find a T as well. So resting, go diagonal, now that's the T. Okay, so for every resting. Okay, so while I'm resting, I is going to be there. T. E. M is going to be up here. S is gonna be right there. And then for shift, I'm gonna go back to my resting position. There. That's a colon, nice. Okay, so for every item in items, why did I type item here again? Inside the loop, if item is already a key in frequencies. Okay, so... Oh god, this is supposed to be an if. If item... Wait, this way is much easier. If item in my frequency... There we go. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Okay. If item in frequencies, we're gonna go ahead and add 1 to its value. So we're gonna go with something like freak. Oh my gosh, so tedious. My gosh. Where was the F now? Okay, let's be this thing. So F is supposed to be right here. And then where is R supposed to be? So it's Q, W, E, R. T. T is supposed to be diagonal. Oh wait, I gotta go with E, right? E is my resting position and Q is the first one here. At index, so this is shift. That is supposed to be square brackets. FREQ, so frequency at index of items. So I is my... No, I is right there. There we go. So the stuff beside my resting finger, which is there, and then T is gonna be diagonal. And then E is gonna be my resting finger again. M is gonna be above my thumb. Frequency at index of item is gonna go ahead and increase. So for shift, I'm gonna move my hands here. Plus equals to 1. And then we're gonna go with L. So I'm gonna hit enter. I'm gonna go with backspace with my middle finger. E is my resting finger. L. Where's L now? Okay, so back here. So E, L. L, I'm assuming is gonna be here. Where in the world is L? What the hell? L is right here. Wait, hold on a damn minute. What is that? So O is my resting finger. No, this I is my resting finger. O, so my middle finger. Is that my middle finger or my ring finger? It's my ring finger. Under my ring finger is not L. Oh, that is P. Middle finger. Under my middle finger is L. Okay, so let's go with something like rested back. E, L, S, E, L, S, E. Else, I'm gonna add a colon, and then let's go with something like... What was I gonna do with else? I was gonna go with frequencies, right? So F. F is my resting finger too. Wow. This is gonna be all right. Nice. That is, if that was O, this was supposed to be I. Perfect. Okay, so that's O, that's I. That's O, that's I. Wow. F, R. E is my resting finger. Wrong resting finger. Q is the first ever. Frequencies at index. This was supposed to be right. Curly braces, parentheses, square brackets. Okay. Frequencies at index of item. Item is my resting finger right there. Okay. Nope. I. T is supposed to be diagonal. Right there. So wait, hold up, let me get back to my resting position. Okay, so T, am I at the top? That is R. So Q, W, E, R, T. E is my resting finger. Index of item, wait, this should have been with my thumb, is gonna be equal to 1. God, my fingers are burning up. Okay. Hello, you saw dome of your videos? Huh. You saw, do you mean done of your videos? That's it, Hiding Epic. Appreciate you joining the stream. And guys, in case I'm typing like an absolute toddler right now, it's because I'm trying to work with touch typing, which means just predicting where the keys are in my keyboard. Based on that, I'm gonna go ahead and type. Okay, I need to find like a comfortable position. Not like a comfortable. How do I know that this is the space? Okay, so this is supposed to be the space. If I'm kept any farther, it won't. So this is supposed to be the space. Needs to be that. There we go. Then I'm kept in my resting position. That is O, that is I. Alright, perfect. Next up. Or we could just do it this way. That way? Is that the perfect space? Nope. Is that the perfect space? Okay, so I can make a triangle like this, or I can go this way. Hold up, I need to find the perfect... Okay, so this is the perfect angle here. There we go. Okay, so with that angle, I can just go here and then just do this. Okay, how do I know that my finger is perfectly kept in the keyboard? Like, what the hell? Not numbers, and then lower, higher, up, down, touch down. Okay, there. Else, what is it I was gonna do? Let's see. You saw some of your videos. Actually, I did watch a few. I don't watch a lot of it. That's a loop through every item. Inside the loop, if the item is already in the key, return its value. If it isn't set its value to 1. Okay, I did set its value to 1. Create an empty list called result. Okay, so we create an empty list called result inside the for loop. In Python, make a variable and assign to a list. Loop through every frequency map and collect items that appear more than once. Loop through every frequency map and collect items that appear more than once. In Python, this means start a second for loop that goes through every key in frequency inside the loop. Check if that key value is greater than 1. If it is, append the key to the result. If that key's value is greater than 1, okay, return results. So apparently, I think I'm going to go ahead and create results here. So let's go with R, E, S, U, and then, okay, let's go back to my resting position. L. D is supposed to be diagonal. Result equals to an empty list. So that is backspace. Is it that? There we go. So that is the backspace. That is 1 to the low, 1 to the left. Oh, are you kidding me right now? There we go. Then we're gonna create another for loop. F. Okay, so for every, let's say something like item, that's I, okay. Resting finger, oh, I. T is supposed to be diagonal, a bit to the left. E is supposed to be resting finger for every... M is supposed to be up here. For every item. I is supposed to... Oh my gosh, I keep messing I up. That is... Oh, I'm positive. There we go. I. T. E. T, E. M. For every item in items. That is O. Positive. Then S. Okay, for every item in items. Loop through each key in frequencies. So loop through each key in frequencies. Hold on a damn minute. Start a second loop that goes through every key and frequency. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Screw this, I'm just gonna go with the regular way. For every key in frequencies dot keys. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do something. We're gonna go ahead and... What does DEF do? It's actually a keyword that you use to define a function. Okay, where are you from? Actually, I am from abroad, but I don't really say exactly from which country. That's it, guys. I don't really type like this. I'm typing like a toddler right now because I'm trying to work with touch typing. It's so annoying, but I think it's going to be worth it. Start a second for loop that goes through each key and frequencies. Inside that loop, check if the key's value is greater than 1. Inside the loop, check if the key's value is greater than 1. Guys, I'm gonna start crying. This is so hard. Not the programming part, the typing part. Come on. That's why that's T, right? It has to be. Okay, damn it. That was T. This is why. Resting finger. This is supposed to be if, damn it. If my key... is greater than 1, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Inside the loop check if key's value is greater than 1. If it is, append the key to result. If it is, I append the key to result. So I'm gonna go with something like R E S U L T. Let's go, come on. Oh wait, my bad. TS, there we go. Back to the resting position. That is shift. That is going to be a period. Dot A. B, B, E, N. D. Okay, results are append what? So inside the loop, check if the key's value is greater than 1. If it is, good append key. There we go. Okay, and then next up, once we're done with that, return the list. Oh god, finally. Back to the elegant position, I guess. Finding. I see. And that is supposed to be I. A U is going to be somewhere Q, W, E, R, T, Y. R, E, S, U. U is supposed to be in the right side of my keyboard. Oh my gosh, I had to return T, U, R, N. M is gonna be there. N is going to be there. And then we return results. So now R is apparently supposed to be here. That is U. Wait, R was supposed to be here, right? My finger was rested in R. What the hell? S. No, I was talking about U. U is supposed to be here. Okay, so let's think. So this is supposed to be I. Beside I is supposed to be U. That is a colon, so not my pinky. Rather, I can go beside the one that's beside my pinky. Oh my gosh. Now my pinky. Beside my pinky. Okay, so it's right here. So this one is right there. So 2 to the left. So wait, this is my colon. 1 beside the colon. T is gonna be there. Okay, perfect. Have you checked out anti-gravity? I actually forgot, but then, wait, never mind, it's the AI. I forgot to log in, but I may log in after the stream today. Yesterday, I was sort of busy, but today I may try that stuff. That said, I'm just gonna paste this to save some time. I do not have the patience to type it out again. I need to watch a few videos on how do you freaking, touch type. This is so hard, but I think it's something that you get better, at by practice. And then we go higher, we go lower. I'm gonna go with something like, okay, let's become. We're gonna be adding time complexity. Back to position, that is supposed to be. Time complexity is going to be ON. And then we're going to go ahead and say something like this. This function is in charge of. Iterating. Function is in charge of iterating. Over a list of items and tell us which items in the list were repeated more than once. I'm the GOAT. Let's go. Alright guys, let's not spam. I see the message. Arduino, I actually haven't heard of that. That said, there are a bunch of messages. I'm gonna remove a couple of them. Alright guys, I heard it. I'm gonna add a tiny little timeout of 10 seconds. There we go. Just so all the messages auto-delete. Okay, I guess we're done. And guys, can you guys believe I wrote most of this without having a typo, even though I was a bit slow, but I think that's fine. And then paste it and say, guys, I feel like a sloth right now. Just go up here and say something like, Sensei, it worked! Exclamation. I get. And oh my gosh, that is kind of funny. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, I need to slow down so bad when writing that stuff. Hold on, did it actually work? Look at your code carefully before we stamp anything. I'm spotting 2 bugs. Find them before you run it. 2 things to look for. Bug, look at your second loop. If key is greater than 1, you're checking if the key is greater than 1, but the key is the item itself. Cat, dog, rat. You can't compare a string with a number. What should you actually be checking? Gotta check the value. Look at your append line. Look very carefully at the variable name. Then look at where you defined your list at the top. Result and results. Okay, so for every key... Oh god, I saw the keyboard, my bad. And C start value, VAL. Back to position, I guess. VAL is supposed to be under this. That's H. Where in the world is L? Okay, let my instincts take over. Nice. Okay, and then this is going to be value. Let my instincts take over again. I guess my instincts were tricked. Hey, the first time it worked like a charm. Adruno, what is Adruno? And guys, let's not spam it, I did see it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and control S to save the code, and then I'm gonna run the command. Traceback, attribute error, dick attribute had no error, didn't mean value. There we go, let me hit control S to save the code, remove this, remove that, and then run it again. Okay, so name error key name is not defined. Adruno, look it up. Actually, I may look it up in a bit. Control S. Let's run the code. 3 and 2. They're the ones that have been repeated at index of 3 and at index of 2. 1, 2. Cat and rat are the ones that have not been repeated. Rather, we want stuff that has been repeated. Okay, so value is greater than 1, frequencies, yada yada. Interesting. Okay, so apparently I get the values that has not been if value is greater than 1. Results.append value. You should buy it. ARDUINO. Let's go with the DUIN. Oh. Okay, let me see. If I were to go to all. Wait, it says Adruno is a part in your PC. Is this what Adruno actually is? It's like Adruno. Is that what it is? That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and exit that real quick. Okay, so apparently I don't think I need to go with values. Rather, I need to go with frequency at index of value. Let's go with FREQ. No, we gotta go with a bunch of control Z's. This gotta be a key. This has to be keys, right? Oh yeah, I forgot what bunch of typos did I have. Control Shift Z, and then we go down, and then we go here. Okay, so this is gonna be freak. F. Deep breaths, guys, we'll make it through. Oh god, the deep breath got me. Oh my gosh, that deep breath got me lightheaded. Control S, and now let's go ahead and run the command. And we got type error not supported between string and integer. Okay, fine, my bad. I'm gonna look at the keyboard for a bit. That's gonna be value. That's gonna be value. Value. Values. I did cheat a little there, but that would have taken me another 10 minutes. You can code it to do things. Oh wow, I actually haven't heard of it. What's it about? Police name error results is not defined. Oh, okay, no, my bad. This is going to be result. Control S, and then we're going to run the command real quick. Key editor tree, so frequency at index of value. Wait. Key editor 3. Value is my value. It's my freaking value. Control S and we run the code. We get... Okay, I get my values. That is correct though. It is correct. But I get the stuff that has not been repeated, which is at index of 2 and at index of 3. Wait, cat has been repeated. Oh my gosh. 0, 1, 2, 3. Cat and rat. Rat has not been repeated. Rat should not be here. It would be better to focus on what's on the palette rather than just what's on the plate rather than just jumping around. That actually does make sense. For the time being, I am actually working with touch typing as well, so that's the reason my efficiency is too low. But I think it's I'm sort of getting used to it. Why do you do DSA in Python? Actually, because I do have a roadmap for my AI engineering for 365 days. And a topic in that roadmap does say me or does require me to learn DSA. So I'm like, I should learn DSA. Good instincts here, right? Something is off. You fixed bug result. Nice catch. But look at bug 1 again. You changed key to value and now you're looping true frequencies.value. That means you're looping through the count. The numbers 3 to 1. So when you append values, you're appending the number, not the word. Think about it in plain English. You want to check the value to see if it's greater than 1. But you want to append the key, the actual word. You need both. For every key and value and frequencies.items. So I'm gonna cry. I keep making a freaking mistake. I keep making a mistake. That is going to be my key. Control S and now let's run the code. Cat and dog, let's go. Okay, we did it in C++, but C++ just adds time to the doing, not thinking. Just adds time to the doing. Well, Python is what he's gonna use. That does make sense, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go with Control A, Control C, copy that, and we're done here. Guys, do you all type... Okay, let me actually add a poll for that, because I'm so curious to know. Do you touch type question mark? Let's go with something like yes, and let's go with something like no. And yeah, I'm looking at the keyboards for this because I don't feel like really adding a lot of stuff there. Let's go and say something like, do you touch type question mark? E is going to be here. Then we're gonna go ahead and add something like a yes. And we're gonna add something like a no. There we go. Oh, glide type. Wait, is it called glide type, like typing without looking at your keyboard? Because someone in the vertical chat's comments said, bro, practice touch typing. You type like a noob. So I thought that it was called touch typing. I didn't really check it up or look it up. Okay, let's see. Okay, question 17, stamp, clean, perfect. And now look at what you just learned on your own. Frequencies.values, keys, items. That item pattern is going to... Okay, I did work a lot with items. I do know these syntaxes. I need to just work more on the logic and the muscle memory. You figure it out yourself under pressure that sticks. Question 17, final stamp. Bug recap. Good ones today. 2 bugs you caught and fixed your typos. Results. Typo and variable name. Frequencies.value. Appending values. Okay. These are exactly the kind of mistakes that show up in real code bases. Catching them yourself is a skill. Same hash map territory for question 18. No new concept. Just another rep. Your instincts are sharpening fast. Yes. Okay, let's see. No, glide type is mobile typing. My gliding over the keys. I see. I was confused by what you meant. That's why there was. I actually meant because like I see people typing without really looking at their keyboard. I think it's so much better for my neck and my posture and my typos as well, but it's a little hard to master, so I was just curious what you guys really do. That said, question 18, most underscore frequencies function which requires items as a parameter. Task, given a list of items, return the item that appears the most times. If there is a tie, return any one of them. Requirements, create an empty dictionary called frequency. In Python, this means make a variable named frequency and assign an empty dictionary to it. Loop through every item in items and build a frequency map. In Python, this means start a for loop that goes through each item in the list. Inside the loop, if the item is already a key in the frequencies, add 1 to its value. If it isn't, set its value to 1. Create a variable called best underscore item and set it to none. In Python, this means make a variable named best underscore item and assign none to it. Create variable called best underscore count and set it to 0. In Python, this means make a variable named best underscore count and assign the number 0 to it. Okay, loop through that frequency map using both key and value together and find the item with the highest count. In Python, this means start a second for loop using the method you learned in question 17 that gives you both key and value inside the loop. Check if the current value is greater than best underscore count. If it is, update best underscore count to the value and to that value and update best underscore item to that key. Return best underscore item. In Python, this means, okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, I guess I'm gonna get the instructions in the other window. Yeah, it's great and there are websites to learn it. Is there? In that case, I may check it. Like, I may watch the tutorials on how do you do that stuff. Because for now, I'm basically just working with muscle memories on how to do it. Like, I'm trying to think, where do I type? Okay, but if there are websites to help me do that, I could check it out. Okay, that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and create a new Python file. I'm gonna go with a new file called most underscore frequencies. Okay. Back to position here. M is supposed to be here. Oh god, I keep clicking N. M. O. S. T. Underscore. F. R. E. U. U. Okay, FREQ. E. N. C. Y. Most underscore frequency dot. B. Y. Okay, perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and define a function. You know what? I'm gonna just go it the old way. So I'm gonna define most frequency, which requires a parameter of items. Okay, there we go. Oh wow, everyone so far touch types. Okay, and in my most underscore frequencies, given a task of all items, create an empty dictionary called frequencies. Guys, this is so annoying. There we go. Yo, Hiding Frank, appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, so we have most underscore frequency here, and then in Python, this means create a variable, loop through every item in items. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a for loop, so we're gonna go with something like for every item in items. Wow. We're gonna go ahead and start each loop, iterate over everything, and build a frequency map. Inside the loop, if the item is already a key in frequency, add 1 to its value. If it isn't, a frequency set 1 to its value. Frequency map is basically us checking if my item if my item in frequencies, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I'm gonna go with something like my frequency. At index of item is gonna go ahead and increase. Oh my gosh. It's gonna go ahead and increase by 1. Guys, I'm crying in the inside. There we go. Else we're gonna go with something like frequency at index of item is going to be equal to 1. Perfect. Okay, once we're done with that, create a variable called best underscore item and set its value to none. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and create a variable called best underscore item. Whoops. I think I'm doing so much better right now for some reason. Or is it just me? Totally just me. Okay, let my muscle memory take over. Best, right? Best underscore item is going to be equal to none. Can I just type one word fast? There we go. Nice. That is a speed that I want to go on. In Python, this means make a variable named best underscore item and set it to none. Create a variable called best underscore count and set it to 0. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create a variable called best. Where was B? B is right here, and then this is V. Okay, so wait, I want to see where B is. B is exactly in the center, so where I go with F, it's H. Where's my answer? B is right above my thumb. BEST underscore. Hands there. That is supposed to be shift. Oh, you're kidding me. Best count is going to be 0. Okay, and then after, once we're done with the best count equals to 0, in Python this means make a variable named best underscore count and assign the number to 0. Loop through the frequency map using both key and value together and finds the item with the highest count. We're gonna find the item with the highest count. In Python this means start a second loop, okay? Loop through the frequency map using both key and value together and find the item with the highest count. In Python, this means start a second for loop using the method you learned in question 17 that gives you both key and value. Inside the loop, check if the current value is greater than the best count. If it is, update the best underscore count to that value and update the item, okay, to that key. Return best count. Okay, so apparently we got to go ahead and add another for loop here. So I'm going to go with something like for every item in... I click 2 buttons at once. To be careful with where I'm clicking. For every item in items, I'm going to go ahead and check something. We're going to go ahead and see. In Python, this means start a second for loop using the method you learned in question 17. That gives you both key and value. Inside the loop, check if the current value is greater than the best. Okay. This is going to be for every... Back to resting position. That is J. Not clicking that anymore. That is F. Not going to click that. Key is supposed to be here. There we go. For every key, comma value. In items, for every key and value in items, I'm going to go ahead and do something. We're going to go ahead and check if the current value is greater than the best count. Check if the current value is greater than the best count. Resting position. If greater than best count, then I'm gonna go ahead and do something if value is greater than the best count. If it is, update the best count to the value. Okay, and update the best item to that key. Guys, why is my dopamine spiking right now? I mean, my adrenaline spiking right now. I think it's adrenaline plus dopamine. I'm getting a little excited. I'm making less typos. Think I'm in the zone. Okay, so return best item. Okay, in Python, this means return. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and return our best item now. There we go. Okay, and then once we're done with that, we're gonna add a big old dog string. But before that, I'm gonna go with something like items is going to be equal to, let's say, my most. That is items, which is a list, right? So why don't I freaking specify what this stuff is? We're gonna go with something like, oh my gosh. Guys, I feel when I squint my eyes is when I can actually lock in for some reason. Is squinting eyes related to locking in? My return type is gonna be a string. Is it a string? It is a string. Okay, so we're gonna go with something like items equals to a list, which is gonna be cat, dog, cat, rat, dog, cat. Cat. Dog. Cat. Cat, dog, cat, rat, dog, cat, right? Cat, dog, cat, rat, dog, cat. Cat, dog, cat, rat. Dog. What? Cat. Let me get the C. Resting position. Guys, I'm telling y'all, squinting the eyes is the way to go. I think I gotta squint my eyes permanently here. Cat, dog, cat, rat, dog, cat. Perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and print my most frequencies. Wait, is this correct spelling? Oh my gosh, it was frequency. What the hell, guys? Actually, squinting my eyes does help. What? Wait, what? How in the world did squinting my eyes help? This is gonna be... lock in. Whoops. Clicked Windows by mistake. There we go. Too many values to unpack. Wait, I didn't run it, did I? Type error. List object is not callable. Oh my gosh, this is going to be frequencies. What in the world am I doing? Guys, something happens when I squint. I don't know what happens when I squint. I can all of a sudden lock in. Okay, so we get something like type error. Dictionary is not callable. Isn't this? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There we go. Alright, our output should have been cat, but we have a cat, we have a dog, we have a cat, we have a rat, we have a dog. Cat, dog, cat, rat, dog, cat. Cat, dog, cat, rat, dog, cat. Alright, this thing has to be a cat, not a rat. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. That was the first time I copied it without really messing up there. Paste it and say... my output... Guys, this is not good for my blood pressure. What the hell? Okay, let's see. Okay, good catch. Questioning out your outputs. You're thinking like an AI, like an engineer. Look at this line inside your second loop. Value equals your best count. Read that in plain English. You're assigning best count into value. You're overriding value with every zero. Wait. Value equals to best count. Hold on a damn minute. Shouldn't it be the opposite? Come on. Control V. Oh, wow. Well, my bad. Okay, and let's add a doc string too now. Here we go. The tricky part is on here. 1, 2, 3, and then go back, tab, and then we're gonna go with enter. 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna go up. We're gonna hit enter, and let's say something like the time COMPLE. Time complexity. COMPLEXITY is gonna be something like ON. And then once I find my time complexity, I'm gonna go ahead and say something like Wait. Already mic testing, guys. It said an encoding error occurred while streaming. Best count equals to value reversed complexity. Okay, that actually did make sense. Okay, I did get like encoding error, but I think we're good now, right? This function isn't char. This function iterates over a list of items provided by the user. It returns the value that has been. It returns the key the item that has occurred guys. I want to type more. Let me type some more. What did I just do? Oh god, you're kidding me, right? There we go. Glide type. Oh, no glide type. I was confused by what you meant. Yeah, it's a grade and their websites will learn it, yada yada. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Claude up here real quick and let's paste it and say... Oh god, I wanted to type some more. I was just trying to have some fun typing without seeing... Question 18, stamp clean, perfect. And the bug you caught yourself, assignment direction, most common logic mistake. Question 18, final stamp. Pattern recognition check. Look at what you built across 13 to 18. 13, count everything into a map. Look something into a map. To pass first. Group items into list by shared property. Filter by count. Trace the highest. This thing. Ready for question 19. Same territory. One more rep. Let me say something like... Sensei, I may... God. Caps lock on. I may... There we go, I manned the stream right now. Because... Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fix my hash maps. There we go. Let's go to effort. I'm gonna on that stuff. And now let me go ahead and send this and let's move on to my main camera. There we go. Okay, guys, that was so tedious. Hold on, let me just go up here real quick. Which exam you have? Okay, I can't really say my subject's name because that's basically it's a subject based on the history of the country that I'm currently on. That said, I think that was pretty much it for the stream. I did try to, let's say, touch type almost the entire stream. It was really tedious, but it is eventually going to be worth it and all that stuff. That's it. I wonder if the mic is here. There we go. Okay, that's it. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe with notifications turned on, and also share my videos / streams / contents in general if you guys do enjoy my content. Okay, when I said content in general, I meant make sure to share my videos / channels / streams in general if you guys do enjoy my content. And also, I will start streaming or let's say re-uploading my stream on let's say Twitch Kick, YouTube and Instagram as well if I did meet the followers requirement and if I actually figure out a way to re-upload my streams once I'm done recording it. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description, the link is going to be in the bio, and you guys can get access to my socials in general by typing exclamation and the socials name on chat, no space or lowercase. If the social does exist, a link is going to pop up, else a link will not pop up. That's it, good luck with the exam. Yeah, appreciate you more, AI. Okay, bye. I'll catch you next year, Observer. I appreciate you sticking through the stream as well. That said, guys, I feel like that was so annoying having me to touch type the whole stream because I'm usually used to commentating a lot when I really type, but I just realized if I keep talking a lot while typing, I can't really type and all that stuff. That said, I think I gotta increase my chair. It's like when I look at the camera, it's like kept almost really high. So I gotta like get my eyes open, but that just kind of let's say wrinkles up my forehead. That said, I did create 2 brand new channels, Viv Arcade and Viv Works Out, where I have not uploaded videos in a long time, but I will start uploading videos there. Viv Arcade, as the name suggests, is let's say specifically meant for my gaming content, and Viv Works Out is specifically meant for my workout content. If you guys do enjoy either one of those genres, you guys can go ahead and check those channels out, and you guys can get access to those channels if you guys go to the homepage of my current channel, scroll all the way down until you guys don't really find the featured channels section. In the featured channels section, I do have both the channels links there. That said, if you guys do want to join me in my AI engineering for 365 days series as well, make sure to join my Discord server. And if you guys want access to my roadmap, make sure to join my Discord server. Either go to the Coding Helps chat, the Pythons chat, or let's say the general chat. Mention my name there at VivUniverse asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap. That said, you guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in the description, through my bio, or by typing exclamation Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. A link should pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. That said, I'll catch you guys next live stream or video. Peace. Okay, I guess let's end the stream. Gonna open OBS